Hello, everybody. I'm sorry about that. I totally forgot to plug in the camera. So then, of course, it was searching. I'm not tired at all. Oh my gosh. I apologize. I apologize. Let me get this one. I need to delete the one I was currently doing. And then I can get you over here. So let's try really quickly. Let me see if I can manage it. All right. Now, let me see if I can get rid of it. Oh, come on. Okay, I think I've got it, and then we can finally get started. Boy, I tell you what, you go away for a week or two, and then you have no idea how to do it again. It's like, oh, how did I film this? But I have so much to tell you. Okay, let me go back to the other one. Let's see. Oh, look at how you found it so quick. I am currently deleting the other one. I'm hoping Marcia can find. Hello, Annette Parsons. So glad to see you. I almost didn't make it on. I got back Monday night, and then Tuesday I slept most of the day. And then yesterday I started, I have some plans for other things coming up. I was busy working on those. Today I went to the doctor, my surgeon, and I had my next 3-month cancer check. And drum roll, please, I'm just fine. So I got another good report. And I think you're stuck with me. Yep, I think you're stuck with me. So, yeah, you don't know how happy. So I had to get an IV because they do a contrast when they do the CT scan. And then I did a chest x-ray, and he said, looks great to him. So that's all I needed to hear. So I was so happy. The other one is gone. Good. I wanted to get rid of it because I figured if I didn't get rid of it, nobody would know. Where is she? She's hiding. But anyway, Patricia from Nova Scotia, thank you. The moment you said camera, I went, oh no, I forgot to plug the camera in. That's exactly what did this. So thank you for being so smart. Oh, thank you. I'm really tickled. Now I don't go in until December, and then I'll just start doing yearly after that. And it is good they check because, it's scary sometimes, but if they were to find anything, they can get it really early. So I'm happy. So, but I was gone to see the grandbabies, and I got to meet my grandson, Donnie, and he's so cute. And, you're always hoping. My other grandson, Russell, has no idea who I am because I haven't seen him for a year and a half because of the pandemic. So I was so happy to get my shots and not have that fear and finally be able to travel up. I know I went 1,000 miles because I went up to Maryland on the Western Shore, as they call it, and then I went across the Bay Bridge to the Eastern Shore to see my daughter. So I was gone 8 days, and let me tell you what, I'm exhausted. I am so tired. And hefting those babies around and feeding those babies, I haven't done babies in a few years. In fact, today when I went in for the testing, they said, let us know if you think you could be pregnant. I'm like, nah, don't have to worry about that one. So anyway, but I got to tell you, I'm really happy so far with the Medicare and the Medigap plan. I think it's going to work for me. I went to get medications the other day, no charge. And believe it or not, they're so good at this. When I went to the doctor today, they already had my Medicare plan and my Medigap plan in place. I was like, unbelievable. That's wonderful. because I thought, oh, I'm going to have to show them the cards and get them to print it. When I went to CVS, they said, nope, we already got it on there. I was like, really? So there are some very, very good things. Yes, I am. Patricia, that would be funny. Can you imagine the look on their face? Yeah, I've been trying to get pregnant for years. So anyway, but I had a wonderful time. I took a bag full of craft things for my Donnie. We had such fun. He loved it. His mom said, I was afraid he'd put it in his mouth or his nose or something. He was using pasta and making necklaces and beads. He was gluing stuff. He loved painting. So I left him with some watercolors and paintbrush and stuff. And he did great. He would sit there for 2 hours and do crafts with me. So that was wonderful. Wouldn't it be funny? Oh, God. I had a friend one time who called and said, well, I'm 40. And I said, well, it could be worse. You could be pregnant. She called me back in 2 weeks. Yep. I wanted to make sure that didn't happen to me. I said, I know what causes it. I'm going to make sure not to have that happen. But anyway, so my Katie had a gift basket for me. And of course, she had a nice little flamingo in it for me. And I love my flamingos. So today, since I got home, I haven't even worked on the mosaic koi or the garden gate. I haven't even thought about anything except trying to catch up on my sleep. Because, I never sleep as good when I'm away from home. But I got to tell you, I did really good. Gromit, my little dog, was my wingman. And I even handled the Beltway traffic up around D.C., in between D.C. and Baltimore. And let me tell you, it's not fun. In fact, I like to only go 5 miles over the speed limit. And because you have to go with traffic or they run over you, I found myself doing 80 miles an hour. I was like, wait a minute, this girl's been home for over a year. What am I doing driving this fast? But anyway, we made it. The car did beautifully. And now it was so wonderful to see 2 of my 3 kids, because the one is here. It was so wonderful. And to get to know those grandbabies. My Russell, we bonded so good. Even little Donnie, he just did turn 9 months when I was there. And so he would come over and pull up on my fingers. And then I would say, jumpy, jumpy, jumpy. And he would kind of jump around. Once it was like, that was how we made the connection. And I enjoyed him so much. So there you are, Marcia. We were worrying about you. I'm sorry. Thank goodness we have Ice and Fire here who said, check your camera. I didn't have it plugged in. And, it doesn't work good that way. The computer has no idea there's a camera waiting. So anyway, I will get my head together. Sunday we'll do a big afternoon show. So then, and I'll show you all kinds of pictures then. I'll show you just a couple tonight. But what I thought I would do, I said, what am I going to do with them tonight? Because I don't have time nor energy to finish the garden gate yet and the mosaic fish. But we are going to finish them. Well, after tonight, hi, Laura. And after tonight, we are going to have a couple weeks of a break because I've got a couple things to do. And while I'm in a break, if you're working on the garden gate or the mosaic koi, ask me real quick for a pattern if you need one. I'll shoot it right out to you. You can work on that. Then when we come back, we've got to finish those. My motto this year, after having the health scare, my motto is, I can only enjoy it if it's finished, because just having stuff in baskets or plastic bags is really not a way to feel the love. So we will make sure that we get those done, okay? And so anybody working on them, you've got 2 weeks. Linda is here. Hello, dear Linda. Hello. I'm sorry, I forgot to plug in my camera. So if you got a notice, she probably went there and went, it's not here. But anyway, but I didn't want to miss y'all. And especially because the next 2 Thursdays, I'm going to take a little time off, a little vacation time, I think, and just rest. But I will miss you and we'll be back after that and start where I can't wait to do a summer of art quilting. I'm even thinking, would you like to learn to make decorative little beads to like make yourself an artist necklace? And so if you've been seeing that sari ribbon and or scraps of fabric, a little bit of lame, beads and all that stuff. Once we finish the garden gate and the mosaic koi, which Miss Betty's already finished hers and it's gorgeous. But once we finish those, then we're going to start on making some artistic jewelry. Something, a necklace that when people see us, they know what our first love is, all art and fiber. So be gathering whatever kind of interesting little beads, any kind of fabric that you think if you wound it in a ball would make a pretty bead. Luckily, I have some sari ribbon. So yes, I think you would enjoy that. Okay, Annette wants a koi pattern. Let me write that down, sweetie. It's always good if you can jot me an email, but since I'm talking to you right now, I will send that right now. Oh, you know what? I think I tried and I didn't have your email. So let me write this down for you, Annette. And if I don't have your email, I can't send it to you. So send me an email at our time. Whoops, not caps. Okay, our time to quilt at twc.com. Okay, let me make sure I got it right. I've got some stupid window popped up and okay. Yes, whoops. No, I don't want to do this. Okay, here we go. I'll get it right. So, Linda, I got really good test results today, honey. I was so exhausted. It was like, and I'll tell you something, but don't tell anybody. I was trying to wait for them to take the IV out because the ladies left it in thinking, well, in case they need to draw more blood. And I waited and waited and waited. So, in the meantime, I washed my hands, got some paper towels. I took it out myself. So, put it in the hazardous waste bin and said, I'm done. I'm out of here. But don't tell anybody because I'm not sure if that was kosher. Yeah, send me that email, Annette, and tell me you want the mosaic koi. I tell you what, I love that mosaic koi. That we're going to do sometime this summer. We'll do another mosaic. So be thinking about what kind of picture would you like to do. And we will do it. We could do dragonflies and a sun. We could do anything. All right. So what I decided to do today is I want to paint fabric. So I'm going to take a scene from the lake, probably in my head, because I was trying to get the pictures set up in here, and I don't know where they went. Are you ever working on the computer and you say, yeah, save that to the file? Then you can't find the file? Well, that's what I had tonight. Oh, wonderful, Linda. I am so excited. Oh, I love that. Love, love, love it. Okay, so remember that we're going to soon make some decorative beads that you can sew by hand and make a necklace with, nice and easy. We're going to finish our garden gate and our koi because I got to tell you, I love those. And yes, I had to modify my pattern and I haven't done my sun yet and I got to modify that. But I love those two little quilts. So we're going to finish them so we can enjoy them. In fact, I don't have much wall space yet. I've been doing so many art quilts. I mean, oh, there's a little space right there. So, but I've been doing so many art quilts that I'm running out of wall space. I might have to, We'll do a spring show and a fall show. So anyway, let's see what I'm so tickled for, Linda. I tell you what, if you haven't had your vaccine, you're missing a wonderful feeling. I can't tell you how wonderful it is to feel safe after a year, to finally feel safe. And I was able to travel, be with my kids, kiss my grandbabies. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. I couldn't even meet my new grandson for his first 9 months of life. So you know it meant everything for me to be able to be with my family and them to be able to see me. So I'm so happy. Yes, thank you. It is more important to get that COVID shot. Oh, I'm so great. Annette, I'm so proud of you. Way to go, girlfriend. They said, we're aiming for 70%. Let's knock this down and keep it knocked down. It breaks my heart to see what's happening in countries like India. That's horrible, and we don't want to go back to that. So, and you know what? Even people who've had a few little symptoms after the shot, it goes away, and then you're great, and then you can go and do. So, all right. So let me see. Oh, good. Good, Patricia. That is wonderful. That is so important. All right. Now, I'm. Oh, that's wonderful, Laura. Oh, what a nice, wonderful feeling. Whoa. That might be a little too much for the camera to take all that light today. So, let me get this out of the way since. All right, whoop, get back on there. I don't have a picture for this, but what I'm going to do is, let me see if I can bring up a photo. Whoops, got to come back down to the page. I love seeing your emails. I want to see what you have to say. Now, here we go. All right. I've got a couple pictures of my favorite lake. And here is one. Okay. Then, let me see. I've got another one. Here is the other one. Okay, so this kind of just gives me an idea of how I want to set this up. Now, I have many more, but like I said, I'm not sure where those little puppies went. They're somewhere on the computer, and I know I will find them, but not yet. All right, so what I'm going to do, this is going to be really too, okay? So what I'm going to do is, ready for tonight, I took some out of it. And I'm trying to think if okay. And then the horizon over on the other side of the lake is going to be over here. Whoops. So I washed it and dried it and then ironed it to get the sizing out. You can use any white fabric you have if you take the precautions to get the sizing out so that it will accept the paint, because that is important. And if you've ever tried to work with plain fabric you bought that wasn't prepared to dye, prepared for dyeing, then you probably had a problem with it. And I can't find my artist eraser. Let me see. Sometimes you can use the rubbery end of, that finds and door line down some, because I want it mostly to be the water. So I'm going to come in about here. Now, the horizon line is absolutely flat, but this one can kind of ebb and flow just a little. And then in my one picture, I have a tree kind of ebb and flow just a little. And then in my one picture, I have a tree kind of, but this other side, I'm going to give it. So there we go. And this is a tall, straight tree with no branches to get in the way, no lower branches. Then in the picture that I had some double trees over here that I really like. And these are pretty straight. All right, and you start out wider at the base. Let me make sure you can see me. Start out wider at the base. Whoops, this way. Wider at the base, and then come in and, make make a little bit of a wiggle, because not even a pine tree is that good. Now, I'm going to put this base, I'm going to offset them a little bit. They shouldn't be lined up like soldiers. So I'm going to come here and do this one. So this one's got a little more of a curve to it. This one's a little bit straighter and just a touch bigger. So here, this one's a little bit straighter and just a touch bigger. So here we go like that. Then I'm going to come back with my seam ripper as the eraser and erase the lines. Okay, and what I'm doing is just drawing kind of rough landscape here. And, okay, use a red or blue eraser on your fabric. Only use white erasers or art gum erasers, because the red will leave a mark that's very hard to get out. That is a dye that they put in the eraser. So that's why low little weed shrub near it. So I'm going to kind of put that in here a little. There. All right. Now, so we've got the horizon, which is very straight over here. It's got a little bit of a shoreline on it, so that varies. The horizon's straight, but the little shoreline part, the part that's the sandy beach, that varies a little. So that one, just kind of run your line across, a little wavy, act like you've had too much coffee to drink. Then I'm going to want the tree line. So with the tree line, let me bring it closer. We're going to do it very wiggly and just kind of like this. And I'm kind of looking at the picture that I like best to get a good idea. The trees, now don't vary them too much, because in nature, the trees are usually within a certain height unless they have been cut at some point. But I did notice over there that the beginning trees were shorter than the end. So at some point, this was a field that was let go, and it's trying to catch up with here. So there I've got my other side. It doesn't really leave me, I better bring this down a little, doesn't leave me sky. And you know what? Sky in a landscape is wonderful because it gives your eye some place to rest. And that's one thing I want you to remember. In your compositions, give your eye a place to rest. Have you ever noticed, like I'm not real fond of scrappy quilts. And mostly it's because too often there's very little place for your eye to rest. So now I've got a little more sky built in. Now that I've got this blocked, let me find, I'm going to be making, okay, out here, I want a few sailboats. So I'm going to just kind of draw in a little sailboat right here. Okay. And then over here against the beach, I'm going to put a few little sailboats that are just sitting over there waiting to get into the water. All right. And I might put another boat right here. And now we have mostly motorboats on the lake, but if I'm going to do a portrait, I want something very peaceful like a sailboat. All right. All right, so I've got two sailboats. Now, what I'm going to do in the foreground, let me check in with you. Are we buffering? Uh-oh. Okay, it says it's connected me back. I hope you can see it. I apologize for that. Must be a busy night on the internet. I think I'm going to have to get some kind of internet booster for down here. So, or move my whole setup upstairs, which I may just have to do. But anyway, I hope you're all still here. Let me know if you are. And okay. Okay, got the sailboats over here on this side of the lake. All right. Now I want to go find, there is another picture that I want to find. Is everyone, oh good, glad to get the service. All right, now what I want to do is let me find the camping photos that have, not that year. Okay, let me find the next year. Okay. Oh, here's some goose. Oh, this will be fun. So I might put a little family of Canada goose. And I'll have to make sure that I've got the right size. But I'm going to put a all right. I want to have, let me see if I can find the great blue heron. Not yet. Let me see. I had forgotten what year I did find that guy, and it was so neat to be able to see him. All right, I think I found him. Yes, I found him. And let me see. I'm going to look for, there's one photo of him that's better than the others. And it was really nice. I just was very quiet and just watched him walk by. Okay, let me see. Oh, that's not a good photo. Let me try one more. It's a little fuzzy, but I at least want to show you. Fuzzy and on end, but I tell you that he came to eat while we were at night, and I love that. To me, that is the best. So I think I'm going to put him over here, and I'm going to have to go backwards just a little. And I'm going to put him in the shallows, and here his legs are coming up. And then he has the thing that surprised me about the great blue heron is he's got a more upright posture than you would think. Okay. So here he is. Oops. Give him a big back of the neck. He's got a very arching neck. I'm going to give him an arching neck. It's going to come in here and down. Okay. So here he is. All right. So now I've got the great blue heron. All right. Now let me come back to y'all. Now that I've seen the photo, I have to look at photos to be able to place in what I want. And let me come back so I can see y'all now. There we go. Buffers about every 6 words. Oh no. Oh poo. Okay, well we'll start on this, but we might not stay that long because that's got to be frustrating. I'm so sorry. All right. So what I have my Dynaflow ink dyes. Okay. So I know I'm going to need blue. Let me see. Oh, that might be pretty. I'm going to need green. Maybe a little bit. Oh, this is a good yellow, golden yellow. I like That'll be good for, that'll help with sand. Okay, and then a little deeper blue. Then I also have my ink tints, 24, and my ink tints blocks. And blocks are great for doing painting because it gives you a bigger surface to get the color off. Okay? This is what we're going to do. Let me see. I need my little paint palette. Let me find it. I know what I can use. I'll use this. All right. I've got a makeshift paint palette here. And I'm going to take and put a little bit of this dye in the paint palette. Okay? Is anybody still there? I hope you're still there. I hope you are still here. I am so sorry about this buffering. But as you see, I have different shades of the blue. Oh, thank you, sweeties. I'm so sorry about this. I will definitely work on trying to get a stronger signal for y'all, because that is frustrating when it buffers. All right. Now, I'm probably going to just use a little bit of water. I've got paper towels, and I've got a little bit of the gel medium. Let me, if I can get it open, yes. All right. Oh, I haven't used this in a while. Look, the gel medium had like a dried crust on it. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'll leave it sit right there. And you can also find things called, you can also find fabric markers to use, whatever you want. But I'm going to get a reasonably big brush, okay? And into this, I'm going to need some brown to do the beach. So I'm going to get some water going. Here's a good color for the beach. One of the problems I have is when I use the gel medium on these, they tend to coat it so much that then it's hard to get the color off. So this time I'm just going to use water on them. All right. And what you can actually do is make the paint, make it in a little well here, get some more of that wonderful color. When you're done using these ink tints blocks, make sure you dab them gently with or wipe over a clean paintbrush to get the color off the other paints, because if you don't, you'll be disappointed that you'll be disappointed in having your colors too mixed. So I'll just come in here on like this darker one and I'll dab it off so I don't contaminate it. All right, now I'm going to dip in and get some gel medium, put it in this little paint pot. Okay, then I'm going to wipe off my brush, get some more water over here, and get this beach color going. And I'm going to get a little bit of that dark gray because I think that'll add to the color. All right, now that I have the gel medium, it will flow better. And feel free to wet your fabric a little to get the flow going. In fact, I think I'm going to do that because it's hard to get the color on. So I'll just lightly mist it and get this color in here. All right. Now I can go in right now I'm just going to lay out color. I'll go back in later and I can go with my ink tints pencils and do shading and edges and lighter, darker. I also wanted to tell you, I have a piece of vinyl on my ironing board. Under the vinyl, I have a piece of just junk newsprint that came in a box of things. And this is protecting my ironing board so that I can work here where you can see. So now I'm going to now come up into the water. I just want to, I know I'm not going to have too long to do too much. And the sand will be lighter as it gets to the shore. Well, the real edge where it's wet might be a little darker, but it is fuller, a more robust color the closer it gets to you. But I'm just going to show you how I'm going to lay this out. Now, I'm going to take my spray bottle and I'm going to start wetting this because it really, I want this to be more like a watercolor and less like an acrylic painting. You see what I'm saying? I want the paint to go ahead and spread for me. I'm going to take this blue and mix it with some gel medium and then put some more water in here because I want a light wash. And I didn't really mix those colors that much because now look, when you come in here now, you can kind of lay it on. And one thing I'm going to come in here and do after I lay this color and it dries somewhat is I'll come in with the Inktense pencils. What I thought I would do is lay horizontal lines in to kind of give that water a striated, wavy effect. So, and this is what I love about Inktense. I can come in like this and put some wave lines, then come in over it with my paint mixture. Now I have to be careful not to fill it all in, leave it a little bit loose, and be careful where you're going to add your geese. And let's say it's too hard for me to add these geese in correctly, then what I may do is I could always come over it later with fabric geese. But I'm going to try to see how, if I can make this work. And I'm going to come back and get some more of my sand color. Make my little, okay, whoops. And don't forget, I do, if you want it watercolor and just kind of dreamy like, you know, then don't forget about just lightly spray your fabric, and that will really help the paint move because it's going to seep anyway. And by wetting the fabric first, you have a little more control of the color. I don't know why this, okay, now it's looking a little bit darker, but let's see. One of the problems, I like using these, but you're going to have to mix your colors ahead. So that's why I'm doing a little bit of this and a little bit of the Dynaflow fabric ink, or they call it, I think actually by Jacquard, I think they call it like a fabric paint. But what I love about it, it's translucent, and that's what I want. So let me get a little more water in here. I want to keep this paint nice and thin, and I'm going to go up a little bit higher with my lake. And I love how it moves the paint across the fabric. So, and then when I get to the other side, let me see. I want to make sure to put this on wherever I can. Be careful about little blips. Be careful where your paintbrush is and where the paints are. But I'm just kind of going up here with it, avoiding. Okay. And I'm trying to get a different shade up here, and that's one of the things you'll want to work on. When you look at your That's a great idea. Yes, you could do that, Linda. I have heard of people using the sticks and bringing them in. And let me see. And don't forget, you can come with your ink tints and you can outline just a little touch of a wave activity at, come on. Whoops, let me see. All right. I'm wondering, can I come in with yes, I can come in with the white ink tints. And now I don't want white caps. It's because you don't get white caps on a lake. But it's kind of nice to be able to come in and give a little definition. Like right here, I'm using this color to give a little definition to the beach. Then I can come in with this and do a little bit of the plant life. And this, I'm working on this little shrubby, weedy bush over here. And I like doing a medium first. Then I'll come in and do a darker green. Let me see if I have a good darker green. And then last, I'll come in with some highlights. I'm going to take a dark, dark brown and do a few little hints of stems on the bush. Okay, like this. Then I'll come in with a yellowy green and kind of do the highlights right here. Now, let's see what happens when I use my brush. I'm going to dip it in the medium and with a barely wet brush, barely wet. And I could come in and just kind of touch a little bit of this so that I don't lose the detail of that bush. Now, since I don't have a good color for the tree, I'm going to come in here with the ink tints right away. And I'm going to do some rough coloring. Whoops, let me bring this over. I need to bring this over. So I'm going to come in with some rough coloring of this tree. And then this tree is behind it. And what I can do is kind of show the tree through the bush there. But this is what I love about these. Oh, okay, it had to restart maybe again. I am so sorry. Okay, so now, and trees are not all one color, and all of that, so we'll put a little bit of everything in it. And ooh, don't want much ink black, but if I did a real light coating, I know what, I would like some charcoal, because so many of the trees to me have more outliner, ink black. Where's my charcoal? Don't deep indigo. Let's see. Sea blue, that's not what I want. Huh, okay. Well, let me try a little bit of this. All right. And maybe a little bit of this dull green just to give it. It's amazing that colors can be a reflection of what is near it. But now I will take my brush. I will wipe it off and go in to the gel medium mixed with water and come in here and carefully decide how much I want to soften the bark. Because I want it to have that roughness, So same thing over here. Decide how much I want that to blend in. And then I can come in with a very pale color and try to put a little bit more color in the tree. All right. I don't know where I'll put a little ink black. I want it to be more gray color. All right. Let's see what. Okay. So I hope you're getting a chance to see. Oh, thank you, Miss Laura. I'm trying. And it's kind of fun. I'm playing with this. And don't forget that when I go across to the other shore, I'll be putting some green on the other shoreline. And then when it comes to the boats, I'm going to try not to paint the white sail, but I may have to come back over it with a fabric one because I have a hard time. Miss Linda might be able to tell you better how to do this, but I have a hard time trying to keep the paint exactly where I want that. And I'm definitely going to use the Inktense pencils to do my great blue heron. So I'll come in like with his legs and kind of do a little bit of this. And then with his body, I really do need a good gray, but I'm not seeing it. So I'll have to be very careful. And his tail is a little darker here and then lighter here, very light here, a little darker on his bill. Okay, and then you know what I'm going to do to get that gray look? I'll come in here with this blue and just lightly, I don't know if you can see how lightly I'm touching the pencil to the fabric. Okay, just very lightly. And that'll give the gray blue effect. So now what I'll do is I'm going to take a smaller brush now because I don't want this paint to go everywhere. I'm going to get the gel medium mixed with water, and I'm going to very carefully stroke this bird into life here. Let's see. And I'll give him more detail later on. Right now, you always start with blocking your color, and then I'll come back with more detail. Because you have to know where to keep it white, where to go darker. Okay. And I'm just going to put a little touch of orange on. It's coming on. Hello, Kathleen Champ. So good to see you. All right. So I'm hoping that I'm giving you a little hint of something you might want to try to do. And the main thing, like I always say, I have to have something to look at. I can't just design this out of my head. And so find whatever pictures that you want to be your inspiration. And then, now I'm going to bring this around. Now, you see why I put the newsprint here and just plain newsprint and then the vinyl. And that way it's easy to clean up. Because when you're painting fabric, it'll bleed through. So here is a start. And I have a lot more to do, but you can kind of see how I'm blocking it out now. And what my goal is with this is the fabric, and then I will heat seal it by ironing it. I'll use a piece of scrap muslin. Once it's dry, lay it on it and iron it. And then either use fabric, use more Inktense markers, thread painting, and bring it to life. So that's what we're going to be working on for later this summer. You're struggling with them? Yeah. Just find a liquid gel medium. You can find it where you buy the little bottles of acrylic paint. It'll be in there. You can use aloe vera gel that you get from Walmart even. Anything that has a thicker consistency so it keeps it from running. Another thing you might want to do, if you want much crisper colors, take and Make your quilt sandwich. Make the backing, batting, and the top. Make sure, though, that you always pre-wash the top to get any sizing out of it so that the dyes will penetrate. Then make sure you have drawn on your basic design and then outline stitch with your sewing machine. When you do that, it will help contain the colors a little better. Some bleeding, but then what you do is you go over it afterwards. You get a permanent fine line marker. I forgot the name of those, but I had one out here just recently. And here it is, microns. You can get microns in all kinds of different colors. And if you take a fine line micron, you can carefully, when it's all dry, you can carefully outline just enough to show your edges again. And I think you'll be happy with it that way. So, but it has to be something a little permanent. But these things come in all colors. I should get a set of them in colors. But that way you can kind of neaten up your edges. But this is going to be more of a watercolor, and then I'll come in and add a little more definition. But this is just for fun. I wanted to make my own background. Instead of buying a panel, I said, I want to paint a panel because I kind of wanted to see if I could do it and how it would look. And I'm trying to find the thing for my light, but I'll turn the light off later. But anyway, I just wanted to do a watercolor, and then I'll come along and define it with a micron. I'll put more details in it too with the ink tints. And then I'm going to do the thread painting. I'm so excited. I just wanted to put a shout out. I'm trying to remember her name now, but she thanked me for turning her on to Bonnie. Oh, the woman I just took a class. Oh, you like it? I had to redo that because the top made it look like a barn, but it's coming along. So I want to get that finished. I've got a bunch of photos to show you, but in fact, oh my gosh, Linda sent me some more of her artwork pictures. Linda, you are an amazing artist, and I love your work. I love all of your work. That's right. Oh, you had your knee surgery. Way to go, sweetie. And that's another thing. I'm really excited. I'm going to get my left cataract removed because I'm tired of not seeing good enough. So anyway, think about getting a piece of white or muslin or doesn't matter. Just rinse off. If it's commercial fabric, if you bought it, wash it real good to get the sizing off. Dry it, iron it flat. Do not add starch. You don't want to put anything back on the surface. And then play with fabric markers, play with ink tints, play with Jacquard Dynaflow. You can get a set of these for like $15 and play. And just tell yourself, it's just a half a yard of fabric. You're worth that. And find your picture that you want to recreate. And I usually use several scenes and then kind of lightly draw it in and then get a mist bottle like I had here. It helps if you want to be able to spread, the dye paint across the fabric easier. So far as using fabric markers, you're going to have to see, you may wish to kind of rub your fabric marker in a little piece of plastic, put water in it so you can put it on more like a paint, or use your fabric markers to define edges and set the tone and see with a little water if you can get the color to move. And, there you go. Yeah, and just have fun. Just play with it. Something doesn't turn out the way you want, and we'll get out fabric and we'll applique what you wanted it to look like. I even thought, so far as these sailboats, I worry about keeping the white sails white. I might put a three-dimensional sail on it when I'm done. So I'm not going to worry about. Oh, I love that you came on here all chatty, Kathleen. I have missed you guys. Do know that I won't be here the next 2 weeks, but then we're going to have a summer full of art and fun. We may do some crafts, we may do some art. In fact, gather any piece of scraps of lame, satin, whatever, beads, whatever you want, because we're going to make ourselves an art necklace. And luckily, I have some sari silk kind of ribbony stuff that I'm going to use. And we're going to make ourselves a necklace that says, I'm an artist, because we are. So I hope that this maybe gave you an idea. I wanted to give you things to think about. Be finishing or working on your gate and your mosaic koi if you're working on them, because we're going to finish those off when I get back. And then if you want, try painting some fabric and let's see what you come up with. Let's say you don't have the paints. Use crayons. You can use anything you want nowadays. Okay? Oh, it's so good to see you. It was a great one this Sunday. This Sunday, I'm going to show you all the pictures from my trip and tell you all about it. Tonight, I'm just a little tired. There's my Jody. Hi, sweetie. Yeah, today I was a little tired, but I went in for my next cancer screen and I'm all good. So you're stuck with me. So I'm so excited to spend this time with you tonight. I need to get off here. My battery is running low. And I'm not talking about my computer or camera. I mean me. I tell you what, taking care of two babies is for young people, not old farts like me. So, but it was wonderful. And I can't wait to share you all about it and show you pictures of my 2-year-old grandson loving the world of crafting. Never too young to start those babies. Aw, thank you. All right, guys, you have a good evening. I won't be here for 2 weeks, okay? So let's see what you can work on. Send me photos. I want to brag on you. People all the time talk about your amazing talent. And thank you. I love showing it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you, Kathleen. That was sweetie. That was sweet. And thank you for everybody who's gotten their vaccines. It was wonderful to be able to go out and not be afraid. So it was great. All right, I'll tell you more about that Sunday. We'll gab for a little while. Take good care, all of you. I miss you terribly. And when Sunday, I'll show all your photos. You've been submitting some good ones. So thank you. Mwah. Yes, I got to sleep some more. I'm worn out. Take care, everybody. Mwah. Thank you. Take good care, everybody. You're the best. And stay creative. Take good care of yourself. Stay creative. Night-night, everybody. Y'all are wonderful. Night-night. All right.